Eradicating open defecation and enhancing sanitation are on the front burner of national environmental response against cholera, other infectious diseases, and even the COVID-19. This informed the signing of Executive Order 009 by President Muhammadu Buhari in 2019 to tackle open defecation by the year 2025. Armed with the directive, the Federal Ministry of Water Resources, in partnership with UNICEF and other stakeholders, launched the initiative Nigeria Open Defecation Free by 2025. Open defecation significantly increases chances of outbreak of waterborne infections such as cholera and other diseases, especially where there are limited availability of clean water and unsanitary environment. Enhancing waste management and controlling open defecation will no doubt limit environmental contamination for effective disease control. How do we ramp up national, state, and local council environmental sanitation response to contain the cholera epidemic? This is our focus this afternoon on Panorama from the studios of NTA Maiduguri. My name is Abubakar Muhammad Musa. President Muhammadu Buhari has described the progress of the reconstruction, rehabilitation, and recovery agenda in Imo State as a critical pathway towards advancing the Eastern Heartland to the next level of socio-economic development. The president stated this while inaugurating several landmark projects executed by the Hope Uzodinma administration. State House correspondent Adamu Sambu has more details.
A fitting reception for President Muhammadu Buhari on arrival at the Sam Mbakwe International Cargo Airport, Owerri, on his first visit to the Southeast since the renewal of his mandate in 2019. Host Governor Hope Uzodinma of Imo State and the chairman of the Southeast Governors Forum and Governor of Ebonyi State, Dave Umahi, were at the head of the welcoming party.
It shows you that the president has an affinity for the Southeast, just as he has for the rest of the country. And of course, we should never forget that he's also an Igbo chief. See how it turned out. His attire complete with cap and the elephant tusk. He has many titles from different parts of the East. It's good for our country, it's good for national unity, it's good for cohesion. And if anybody has had any doubts, if President Buhari discriminates against any part of the country, this will lay it to rest.
During the visit, several critical infrastructure projects executed by the Hope Uzodinma administration in response to the needs and aspirations of Imolites were inaugurated by President Muhammadu Buhari. These include the Naze, Nekede, Ihagu Link Road, balloon-driven flood control tunnel at Dick Tiger Road, Amokohia, Egbede bypass, named after an elder statesman in the area, Chief Emmanuel Onyawu, as well as the newly constructed state-of-the-art Executive Council chambers. The president described the execution of the projects within 1 year as not only impressive, but a worthwhile undertaking that places Imo on the path to sustainable future.
And I have seen enough that justifies his integrity. I'm very impressed with what he has done because I have gone through the same problem at the center. Infrastructure is what will enable the people to mind their own businesses. And I assure you that I will try to encourage Imo State within the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Governor Hope Uzodinma had told the president that the roads projects in particular were part of the 46 solid ones executed by his administration for enhanced economic development as well as standard of living of the people.
We are still doing more because we believe that with the right infrastructure, our economic development will be hastened and life will be much better for our people. Our aim is to build a mini Nigeria in Imo State. where everyone will have sense of not only belonging, but unfettered accommodation.
The governor used the opportunity to express formal appreciation of the people to the president for swiftly bringing to an end what he called the politically contrived security breaches in the state.
I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart on behalf of the government and people of Imo State for believing in Imo State and her leadership. We remain sincere in our endeavors to satisfy the yearnings of our people within available resources.
The commitment of the government and people of Imo State to peace and national unity, Governor Uzodimma emphasized, is irrevocable. From Owerri, Imo State, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
Still on the president's visit to Imo, a security-challenged and destabilized Nigeria will not be handed over to the next administration. President Muhammadu Buhari, who gave this commitment at a town hall meeting with the Southeast leaders in Owerri, Imo State, also promised to leave a more united, corrupt-free, and diversified economy. Here again is State House correspondent Adamu Sambu with the rest of the story.
The town hall meeting, attended by political and religious leaders from the Southeast, traditional rulers, as well as officials of Ohaneze Ndibo, was convened to discuss critical national issues as they affect the region and chart the best way forward in the greater interests of the country.
It is important at this juncture for us to reiterate our collective stand that we believe in the unity of Nigeria. We are everywhere making our contributions to the economic advancement of Nigeria. It is really inconceivable to imagine that we should support the breakup of Nigeria, not now, not tomorrow, never.
Mr. President, the leadership of Nigeria must have faith and hope that no secessionist elements can succeed in Nigeria, provided there is good governance based on equity, justice, and fairness to all.
Both the governor and the President General of Ohaneze Ndibo appreciated the president for improved sense of belonging to the people and federal presence in the region.
Your Excellency, we see today a new dawn in your distinguished presence in Igbo land and believe that on your return to Abuja, the significance and substance of this visit will form a new foundation of a platform for meaningful dialogue on critical issues of concern to Ndibo.
We also want to use this auspicious occasion to assure Mr. President of the continued support of the Southeast to your administration. You can always count on us because you have shown us that you are not insensitive to the yearnings of our people.
President Muhammadu Buhari, who described as overwhelming the reception accorded him, promised not to leave anything to chance in effectively securing Nigeria for sustainable growth and development.
The biggest disappointment is now the Northwest and North Central. People without ethnicity, without religious thing, are killing each other and stealing each other's property. And I would like to be remembered as a person who stabilized this country. If there is no security, there is nothing anybody can do, no matter how much he tries or how much initiative he has. Security is number one thing, and we'll try and do that.
The president also promised to sustain efforts at addressing the nation's infrastructure deficit, diversifying the economy, and fighting corruption.
I will make sure, if I know within the system, I will stop corruption. I thank God that I try to keep myself as clean as possible. People will watch and allow you to make one or two mistakes, and then they will make 1,000 mistakes. I will do my best to make sure that Nigerians that try hard succeed in their efforts.
President Buhari described as unthinkable that some Igbos can contemplate secession from Nigeria, saying everyone will be better off if the nation remains united.
We are going to do the roads, we are going to do the rails, and we are going to stabilize power so that we can realize our potentialities. And as a group, I'm telling you this, the Igbos stand to benefit more than anybody because they are more enterprising.
The event was rounded off with photo opportunities and presentation of gift items to the president in appreciation of his visit and commitment to Nigeria, especially the Southeast. From Owerri, Imo State, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
Away from the president's visit to the Southeast now to focus our attention on security matters. Telecommunication services have been shut down in at least 13 local government areas of KATSINA State. The affected local government areas are Sabwa, Faskari, Dandumi, Bazari, Damusa, Kankara, Jibia, Safana, Dusma, and Kurfi that are on the fringes of the Rugu forest where most bandits are hiding. The other three include Funtua, Babori, and Malumfashi. This is coming few days after the National Communications Commission, NCC, denied plan to shut down telecom sites in KATSINA. It could be recalled that the NCC had refuted a trending social media story claiming that the Commission had ordered telecom service providers to shut down their sites in KATSINA. In a statement, Director General Media Abdul Labaran Malumfashi had said the Executive Vice Chairman and Chief Executive Officer of NCC, Professor Umar D. Ambata, had spoken to the state government on the matter, where he said the story was false. The NCC Vice Chairman and Chief Executive Officer added that the purported letter trending in the social media was a cloned version of the one sent to Zamfara State, where shutdown of telecom sites. NCC had issued a directive to telecom operators to shut down their services in the neighboring Zamfara State as from September 3 to enable security agencies carry out required operations in relation to the pervasive security challenges. And still on issues concerning security, troops of Operation HADIN have arrested a high-profile Boko Haram member on a wanted list during a raid on the terrorist hideouts in parts of the Northeast. A statement by the Director, Army Public Relations, Brigadier General Onyema Nwachukwu, indicates that troops of Sector 2, Operation HADIN arrested the wanted terrorist YAWI MODU along DAMBOA WAJIROKO Road in BORNO State. Similarly, troops raided the terrorist improvised explosive device IED materials hub in DAMBOA and Gashua local government areas of Borno and Yobe states, respectively. Brigadier Onyema notes that troops also successfully busted and arrested a urea fertilizer syndicate known for supplying terrorists with IED materials in a market believed to be the notorious hub for IED materials for Boko Haram terrorists and ISWAP members. It's now time to take a break on Panorama. We have more stories for you as soon as we return.
The vaccine offers hope for a safe country free of coronavirus. I urge all state governments, traditional and religious leaders to take the lead in the mobilization effort within their environment and spheres of influence. I similarly urge all eligible Nigerians to present themselves and be vaccinated in accordance with the order of priority already mapped out at the various authorized designated centers only.
On Panorama, let's move on now. The Ember Moon season has started with an expectation of high volume of traffic movement across the country. During this period, Federal Road Safety Corps, FRSC, usually scale up campaign against incessant road crashes for safety of travelers on the highways. Let's now join Mohammed Ibrahim for an update on the 2021 Ember Moons campaign.
The 2021 Ember Month campaign is about to kick off across the country, geared towards safety of the motoring public. Considering the peculiar challenges of motoring in Borno State, the Sector Commander FRC Borno State, Co-Commander Sanusi Ibrahim Kiri, is here to shed more light on focus for this year. What areas of need is the FRC focusing on in this year's Ember Month campaign?
Thank you very much. This year, 2021 Ember Month campaign will be focused on three major areas: the driver, the vehicles, and the road.
How can we reduce road crashes to the barest minimum?
Thank you very much. On the part of driver, we need to educate driver to change their behavioral attitudinal change so that they can obey all the traffic laws and regulations. So they cannot overload their vehicles. They will not wrongful overloading. They should not use phone while driving. These are some of the attitudes which we need the driver to change, so that if at all they change their attitude towards the imbibing by traffic rules and regulations, obviously the RTC will be reduced to the barest minimum. Then secondly, the condition of the vehicle. The driver has to ensure that the vehicle is in good condition before she embarks on any journey. Then on the part of the road, as I said, all the warning and marking sign need to be placed in a strategic location where the driver, while they are coming, they have to focus on that kind of sign and warning. Then, as I said, we are going to meet the traffic. Traffic we are going to meet us. Not this time around, the traffic will meet us. So we'll be there before the time, so that we'll share. If there's any places where we feel it will be challenges, where we experienced last year gridlock and heavy traffic flow, we ensure that our men will be there before the even traffic reaches us. This is our own area of focus, this 2021 Ember Month campaign by God's willing.
Thank you, Sector Commander. As you have heard from the Sector Commander, Borno State, like other states in Nigeria, will experience high rate of vehicular movement, and concerned authority is prepared to enforce regulations for safety on the roads. It's back to the studios. Regulations for safety.
Many thanks, Mohammed. Now, open defecation and other unhealthy sanitary practices remain a major challenge in the way of ensuring effective public health, which has compromised efforts to achieving disease control success in mostly vulnerable communities. Clean water, sanitation, and hygiene are therefore key factors. If effectively utilized, will ensure protection of communities against infectious diseases, especially cholera that has manifested in many states of the country. Here is Pauline Kujevana with the rest of the story.
Cholera and most tropical diseases are spread through environmental contamination, largely from open defecation, poor sanitation, and hygiene practices. The cholera epidemic Borno State first reported in Pulka village of Goza local government has now manifested in several other council areas, mostly vulnerable communities with large concentration of IDPs.
Pulka is where that accommodates more than 2,000 or 3,000 IDPs lying there, and there is no proper toilet facilities for them. And by this rainy season, the water washes it, and that goes into the water they drink and whatsoever that causes the outbreak of cholera.
In a bid to strengthen the responses against the cholera outbreak, Borno State government constituted a 13-man committee for efficient and effective management and control, headed by the Chief of Staff to the Governor, Professor Isa Marte Hussaini, in addition to scaling up activities of the Environmental Protection Agency and other health partners' support.
We have to construct more latrines, especially in the IDP camps and other places, and also we should ask people, or at least sensitize people, not to go and defecate in the rivers and where you have flowing water.
The cases, which are now subsiding in the affected local government areas, had government and partners living up to their responsibilities in managing and controlling the spread.
The situation is now getting under control because of the rapid response team, the effort by the Borno State government, both at the team at the state and the LGA level, in order to curtail the disease from further spread to the other safe area.
containing open defecation and sanitation are prerequisites for achieving a society free from cholera and other infectious. NTA News.
Very well, Pauline. Now, we are faced with a clear health challenge with the recent cholera outbreak. With Nigeria's target to end open defecation 4 years away from now, how much effort is to meet the time frame, considering the peculiarities of many states and communities? Now, with me to discuss these issues is the General Manager, BORNO State Rural Water Supply and Sanitation Agency, Engineer Mohammed Musa Aliyu. Sir, it's a pleasure to have you join us on Panorama this afternoon.
Nice to meet you too, Mohammed.
Okay, sir, how can we provide equitable access to water, sanitation, and, hygiene services?
We can provide equitable access to water, sanitation, and hygiene services to the communities, looking at both the software and hardware components. First, we need policy, a sound one, comprising strategies that will ensure people have access to wash. Constructing facilities are also is also very important, but ensuring sustainability of such facilities is key. How do we do that? We achieve that through creating awareness to the community, to the people at the community level, to know the importance of the facilities provided to them, to know the impact through hygiene promotion of misusing those facilities. The wash institutions need to be strengthened too. They need to be properly funded. If they are properly funded, I assure you there will be enough water supply and it will be regulated to the community and people will have access to water.
Oh, we hope and pray so. Okay, sir, with the peculiarities of Borno, especially the insurgency that led to the creation of IDPs camps and congestions in many areas, how can we surmount challenge of open defecation?
We can overcome challenges of open defecation in IDPs by persistent hygiene promotions in the camp. Let the IDPs become fully aware of the negative impact of open defecation, the consequences of the open defecation. In IDPs, we have latrines. Such latrines, if they are filled, they need to be frequently dislodged, and dislodgement monitored. And in addition to the key stakeholders managing latrines at the LGA levels, we need a strong system in the IDPs that will help in managing the facilities.
Oh, okay, it appears time is not on our side, but I think we just have to take this question before we finally call it a day. What proactive measures need to be put in place for sustainable availability and management of water and hygiene facilities to prevent outbreak of waterborne and other infectious diseases?
First and foremost, and the most important of all, is to have strong wash committees at the community level, at the initial design stage of all wash facilities. And then secondly, the people in the community should be aware of such the importance of sustainability of such facilities.
General Manager, BORNO State Rural Water Supply and Sanitation Agency, Engineer Mohammed Musa Ali, we appreciate you so much for being part of Panorama this afternoon.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, let's move on now. The Nigeria Center for Disease Control, NCDC, I beg your pardon, has confirmed 727 new COVID-19 infections in 17 states, and the FCT. The latest figures released by NCDC shows that Rivers topped the chart with 257 new cases, followed by Lagos with 157, Edo 85, Imo 63, FCT 33, and Delta 28. Other states are Kaduna 27, Benue 17, Akwa Ibom, and Ekiti 13 new cases each, Taraba 12, and Bayelsa 5. Both Kano and Ogun recorded 4 cases each. Oyo has 3, while Abia, Nasarawa, and Plateau recorded 2 cases each. With this, Nigeria now has a total of 197,773 confirmed cases, out of which 185,597 cases were treated and discharged, while 2,585 died of the virus. Clement Olorunchoba is our guide on Sports Update.
Nigeria's Tobiloba Amosan has put the disappointment of the Tokyo 2020 Olympic behind her as she emerged winner of the 100 meters hurdles in the Zurich Diamond Open.